What's going on, everyone? I'm just a simple American man here to try to learn the difference between the UK, Great Britain, and England, which, believe it or not, genuinely, in regular American day-to-day life, we really do use those three terms interchangeably. Like, they might as well mean the same exact thing. Because it's a little embarrassing to say, and I don't know if it's a more of a failure on the American educational system or whatever. We learned about lots of parts of the world, and England is a really important part, especially in our history, but we use UK, Great Britain, United Kingdom, England. It's all the same. It might as well all be the same. It all means English to us, England. So, I don't know, maybe this video can help explain that.
Welcome to the United Kingdom and a whole lot more, explained by me, CGP Grey. The United Kingdom, England, Great Britain, are these three the same place? Are they different places? Do British people secretly laugh at those who use the terms incorrectly? Who knows the answers to these questions? I do, and
yeah, seriously though, do English people think this is very stupid? Very obvious? Like, it's just baffling that we don't know that these are so nonsensical to us. We don't know the difference. It's all the same. I mean, we didn't grow up there, and maybe there's some kind of American equivalent where I could get the last laugh because English people don't know the difference between very simple things in the USA. I don't know. Trying to just make myself feel better at this point.
I'm going to tell you right now. For the lost, this is the world, this is the European continent, and this is the place we have to untangle. The area shown in purple is the United Kingdom. Part of the confusion is that the United Kingdom is not a single country, but instead is a country of countries. It contains inside of it four co-equal and sovereign nations. The first of these is England, shown here in red. England is often confused with the United Kingdom as a whole because it's the largest and most populous of the nations and contains the de facto capital city, London. To the north...
So, hold on. The United Kingdom, within it, and it makes sense because it's titled United Kingdom, like a bunch of united countries, it's comprised of four sovereign nations or whatever. So within the United Kingdom is England for one, and three others, I suppose.
Equal and sovereign nations.
That makes sense.
The first of these is England, shown here in red. England is often confused with the United Kingdom as a whole because it's the largest and most populous of the nations and contains the de facto...
Like, we all know England. We know of London, England. It's the, that's the one thing we do know.
Capital city, London. To the north is Scotland, shown in blue, and to the west is Wales, shown in white. And, often forgotten even by those who live in the United Kingdom, is Northern Ireland, shown in orange. Each country has a local term for the population.
The United Kingdom is made of England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, not Ireland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. Especially Wales, these are just places we never think about. No offense, but I have reason to maybe bring up England in conversation or something to make fun of your accent or something, or something mean. But I had no clue Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales was in on this part of the UK. That close to England, even. I'm a little embarrassed to admit I wasn't so aware geographically of where they existed.
While you can call them all British, it's not recommended as the four countries generally don't like each other. The Northern Irish, Scottish, and...
Is that true? You guys don't like each other? That's why. And don't call all of them British, even though they're all the UK. Okay, I won't. All right.
Welsh regard the English as slave-driving colonial masters, no matter that all three have their own devolved parliaments and are allowed to vote on English laws, despite the reverse not being true, and the English generally guard the rest as rural yokels who spend too much time with their sheep. However, as the four constituent countries don't have their own passports, they are all British citizens, like it or not. They are British citizens of the United Kingdom, whose full name, by the way, is the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So where's Great Britain hiding?
Oh, okay, I think I understand the UK now. And now I know I'm not trying to refer to the UK most of the time. I'm trying to refer to England. And they're very much not the same thing. UK has three other countries in it, other than England.
Right here. The area covered in black is Great Britain. Unlike England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, Great Britain hiding. Right here. The area...
Yeah, Great Britain. Yeah, Great Britain. Okay. What is that?
Covered in black is Great Britain. Unlike England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, Great Britain is a geographical rather than a political term. Great Britain is the largest island among the British Isles. Within the United Kingdom,
Whoa. British Isles. Now we're getting a little crazy here. British Isles. So Great Britain, for some reason, well, he said it's not technically a political definition. It's just like a way to refer to that area, that land, those nations, whatever you want to say. But it's not like an official thing. Like, and why is what was this place again? Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland is not a part of it. Okay. All right.
Geographical rather than a political term. Great Britain is the largest island among the British Isles. Within the United Kingdom, the term Great Britain is often used to refer to England, Scotland, and Wales alone, with the intentional exclusion of Northern Ireland. This is mostly, but not completely
Why?
true, as all three constituent countries have islands that are not part of Great Britain, such as
Okay. Really getting into the weeds here. This makes some sense. And now I know that referring to, is Great Britain Britain? Is it just short? That seems like such a dumb thing to ask, but I mean, we usually call it Britain. We never call it Great Britain. We call it British, English, it's all the same. UK, it's all the same, but now I know there's actually quite a big difference between it. And interesting that Great Britain is just the same as the UK, except you kick out Northern Scotland? Was it? Ireland? Okay, Scotland's over there. Okay. Don't judge me, people. I'm learning. I'm humble. Just trying to ingest the information.
This is
Okay.
mostly, but not completely true, as all three constituent countries have islands that are not part of Great Britain, such as the Isle of Wight, part of England, the Welsh Isle of Anglesey, the Scottish Hebrides, the
Oh,
Shetland
these are
Islands,
all
the
the
Orkney Islands, and the
exceptions?
islands of the Clyde.
Not
The second
technically
biggest island in the British
Great
Isles is
Britain?
Ireland. It's worth noting at this point that Ireland is not a country. Like Great Britain, it is a geographical, not political term. The island of Ireland contains on it two countries, Northern Ireland, which we have already discussed, and the Republic of Ireland. When people say they are Irish, they are referring to the Republic of
Really?
Ireland, which is a separate country from the United Kingdom.
I had no idea about that. Not a clue. Ireland is two countries? Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland? No, I would have never known that. Interesting.
However, both the Republic of Ireland and the United Kingdom are members of the European Union, even though England in particular likes to pretend that it's an island in the mid-Atlantic rather than 50 kilometers off the coast of France. But that's a story for another time.
What's he trying to say? That England likes the spotlight or likes thinking they're the best? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they are. And having a little confidence never hurt anyone, I guess. But yeah, we never talk about the other. No offense, but we never really have any reason to bring up the other countries anyway. Usually in day-to-day conversation, maybe England would get brought up. Everyone acts like they know what England is, but believe me, after watching this, I feel like empowered. I feel like I have the knowledge. No one I know, no one freaking knows what they're talking about when they're talking about England. I know what England is now, and that it's within the UK and Great Britain. I'm gonna have to watch this whole video again later or something.
Review. The two largest islands in the British Isles are Ireland and Great Britain. Ireland has on it two countries, the
here we
Republic
go.
of Ireland and Northern Ireland, while Great Britain mostly contains three, England, Scotland, and Wales. These last three, when
Yeah.
combined with Northern Ireland, form the United Kingdom. There are still many
Oh,
other
wow, this is perfect. This little diagram, I need to print this out and hang it on my wall or something. This is great. I've heard of British Isles, I suppose. Maybe I could convince myself I have, but British Isles I'm not familiar with at all. Well, it makes sense though. It's the whole thing. It's that whole, all the islands, everything in that picture there. Let's go to it. This, all of this, not just the stuff in color and circles. All that is British Isles. Good to know. And what I learned, the thing that I need to spread the word in America. England is within Great Britain. England, Scotland, Wales. And Great Britain is within the United Kingdom. And the United Kingdom includes Northern Ireland. That's where it gets kind of like, a little tricky. Especially since no one here knows what Northern Ireland is. It's all just Ireland to us. But, I'll respect it.
Unanswered questions, such as why when you travel to Canada is there British royalty on the money? To answer this, we need to talk about empire. You can't have gone to school in the English-speaking world without having learned that the British Empire once spanned a fourth of the world's land and governed nearly a fourth of the world's people. While it's easy
Really?
to remember the parts of the British
I didn't know that. Did he just say you should know that if you speak English? I didn't really. I know the British Empire was extremely big and influential and encapsulated America within it, the American colonies within it at one point. Although I'm gonna have to watch a video about all that too, so refresh myself on all this. But I didn't really appreciate that they controlled a quarter of the earth. So.
Empire that broke away violently, we often forget how many nations gained independence through diplomacy, not bloodshed. These want-to-be nations struck a deal with the empire, where they continue to recognize the monarchy as the head of state in exchange for a local autonomous parliament. To understand how they are connected, we need to talk about the crown, not the physical crown that sits behind glass.
And that is nice that they achieved autonomy through peaceful means, making deals, not war. That's not the American way. Is that bad to say? I think America could probably learn from that. Although these days, I'm not even going to get into that for now. Let's just leave it at war sucks. It's not a good way to resolve things. And unfortunately, it has had to be in the past. But it's nice to learn here that all these English, what's he talking about? All of these British sort of under the British rule in the past and influence, they struck these sort of deals peacefully to just remain. Let me see how he phrases it.
These want-to-be nations struck a deal with the empire, where they continue to recognize the monarchy as the head of state in exchange for a local autonomous parliament. To understand how they are...
Okay, they became like autonomous governments while still recognizing the United Kingdom, something like that?
Connected, we need to talk about the crown. Not the physical crown that sits behind glass in the Tower of London and earns millions of tourist pounds for the UK, but the crown is a complicated legal entity best thought of as a one-man corporation. Who created this corporation? God did.
I know about British royalty and the crown and the queen and how, to my understanding, it's more of a figurehead, more of a public figure, someone to be respected, a tradition of royalty that everyone kind of acknowledges and appreciates, but it doesn't really have much to do with the government of England, if I'm correct. I'm going to have to watch a video on this for sure about English government. I know there's a prime minister, something that actually, and the government actually enforces and enacts laws and all that, whereas the crown and the royalty are mostly just there as a tradition at this point. If I'm correct, I could be wrong.
According to British tradition, all power is vested in God, and the monarch is crowned in a Christian ceremony. God, however, not wanting to be bothered with micromanagement, conveniently delegates his power to an entity called the Crown. While this used to be the physical crown in the Tower of London, it evolved over time into a legal corporation sole, able to be controlled only by the ruling monarch. It's a useful reminder that the United Kingdom is still technically a theocracy, with the reigning monarch acting as both the head of state and the supreme governor of the official state religion, Anglicanism. Such are the oddities that arise when dealing with a 1,000-year-old monarchy. Back to Canada and the rest. The former colonies that gained their independence through diplomacy and continue to recognize the authority of the Crown are known as the Commonwealth Realm. They are, in decreasing order of population, Canada, Australia, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Jamaica, the Solomon Islands, Belize, the Bahamas, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Kitts and Nevis, and Tuvalu.
Are we really getting into detail here? Like, do normal English people, United Kingdom people, know all of this as well? Like, all of these little facts, all of these relationships back to the United Kingdom, all of these other nations. Maybe growing up there and being raised there and in the education there, like, makes this all second nature or something. But this is getting, dare I say, a little complicated.
All are independent nations, but still recognize the monarchy as the head of state, even though it has little real power within their borders. There are three further entities that belong to the Crown, and these are the Crown dependencies: the Isle of Man, Jersey, and Guernsey. Unlike the Commonwealth realm, they are not considered independent nations, but are granted local autonomy by the Crown and British citizenship by the United Kingdom. A
lot of places really like striking deals, being granted local autonomy while still recognizing the Crown or whatever. That was a very popular kind of method, wasn't it? Tons of places in the world tied back to the UK, huh?
UK does reserve the right to overrule the laws of their local assemblies. Are we done now?
Yes.
Almost, but not quite.
Please.
There are still a couple of loose threads, such as this place, the tiny city of Gibraltar on the southern coast of Spain, famous for its rock, its monkeys, and for causing diplomatic tension between the United Kingdom and Spain. Or what about the Falkland Islands, which caused so much
I've heard of Gibraltar. Never really knew what it was, though, so good to know.
tension between the United Kingdom and Argentina that they went to war over them. These places belong in the last group of crown properties known as British Overseas Territories, but their former name, Crown Colonies, gives away their origin. They are the last vestiges of the British Empire. Unlike the Commonwealth realm, they have not become independent nations and continue to rely on the United Kingdom for military and sometimes economic assistance. Like the Crown dependencies, everyone born within their borders is a British citizen. The Crown Colonies are, in decreasing order of population, Bermuda, the Cayman Islands, the Turks and Caicos Islands, Gibraltar, the British Virgin Islands, Akrotiri and Dhekelia, Anguilla, St. Helena, the Ascension Islands, Tristan da Cunha, Montserrat, the British Indian Ocean Territory, the South Georgia and South Sandwich Islands, the Falkland Islands, the British Antarctic Territory.
This is what I mean. Do British people, are they up to spunk on all this? They know all this? Like, do you have relatives or something, people you know in Montserrat or the Falkland Islands, which are all technically still under the Crown's rule? Or is this just like really getting into the real weeds to where like no one actually knows this? It's all just it's all just some kind of secret. This could be made up for all I know. But it's CGP. What's his name? His name is CGP Grey. He's trustworthy. Makes good videos.
Territory and the Pitcairn Islands. For our final Venn diagram, the United Kingdom is a country situated on the British Isles and is part of the Crown, which is controlled by the monarchy. Also part of the Crown and the British Isles are the Crown dependencies. The independent nations of the former empire that still recognize the Crown are the Commonwealth realm, and the non-independent remnants of the former empire are the British Overseas Territories.
I mean, it's a good diagram, and if I cared enough, it would be interesting to know. But the main thing I care about here is this premise of England is within Great Britain. I sound so dumb. I sound like this is like stuff literally a English like 2-year-old would know. England within Great Britain within United Kingdom. But hey, I mean, it's good to know it, you know? It's good to remain open, learn these things, even at my ripe old age. Why not?
Thank you very much for watching.
Okay, that was very helpful. Especially that one diagram, the simple one. Can we keep it the simple one? Here we go. Hold on. There. This was helpful. Very helpful. Yeah, so now I know that when I say United Kingdom or UK or Great Britain or Britain, it's not at all what I'm trying to refer to. I'm usually trying to refer to England. So now I know I'm very much wrong. I'm including a lot of other nations that I'm not even meaning to. Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. I had no idea about that. I feel like that will actually stick with me because I know there's like a substantial, meaningful difference between the terms now and that they are within each other, if it makes sense. Like it's very logically set up here that England, Wales, Scotland are under the umbrella of Great Britain, and then that's under the umbrella of the UK, and you throw in Northern Ireland, which isn't Ireland because there's a Republic of Ireland. I mean, this is this was interesting. This was good to know. And so I'd call myself a whole heck of a lot more educated on all this, and I'm going to have to like study this or something because this is going to be gone out of my brain by tomorrow. But for now, this cleared up basically everything I was wondering about it. So anyway, if you enjoyed this reaction, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like or comment on any of the strange rambling questions I made during this. And if you want to see more videos like this, more reactions like this, feel free to subscribe. And until then, thanks for watching and see you next time.